Our miseries in this infernal dungeon are of two kinds, what we have lost and what we suffer. I will first speak about what we have lost. In this sad, dark place of misery and sorrow, we have lost the presence of the ever-blessed God. This is what makes this dungeon hell. Though we had lost 1,000 worlds, it would not be as important as this one greatest loss. Could we but see the least glimpse of his favor here, we might be happy, but have lost it to our everlasting woe. Here we have also lost the company of saints and angels, and instead have nothing but tormenting devils. Here we have lost heaven, the center of all blessedness. There is a deep gulf between us and heaven, so that we are shut out from it forever. Those everlasting gates that let the redeemed into heaven are now forever shut against us. To make our wretchedness far worse, we have lost the hope of ever obtaining a better condition. This makes us truly hopeless. Well may our hearts now break, since we are both without hope and help. This is what we have lost, and if we think of these things, it is enough to tear and gnaw upon our miserable souls forever. Yet, oh, that this were all that our torments were. But we are also tormented by suffering and pain, as I will try to explain to you now. First, we undergo a variety of torments. We are tormented here 1,000, no 10,000 different ways. Those that suffer upon the earth seldom have more than one affliction at a time. But if they had ulcers, gallstones, headaches, and fever, all at the same time, would they not think they were very miserable? Yet all those things together are but the biting of a flea compared to these intolerable, sharp pains that we endure. Here we have all the sufferings of hell. Here is an unquenchable fire which burns us, a lake of burning brimstone that ever chokes us, and eternal chains that bind us. Here there is utter darkness to frighten us, and the worm of conscience that gnaws upon us everlastingly. Any one of these is worse to bear than all the torments that mankind ever felt on earth. But our torments here are not only various, but are also complete. They afflict every part of the body, and torment all the powers of the soul. This makes what we suffer the worst of tortures. In those sicknesses which men have on earth, though some members of their body will suffer, yet other parts have no pain. Here it is different. Every member of the soul and body suffers at the same time. Our eyes are tormented here with the sight of devils, who appear in all horrible shapes and black appearances that sin can give them. Our ears are continually tormented with the loud continual yelling of the damned. Our nostrils are smothered with sulphurous flames, our tongues with burning blisters, and the whole body is rolled in flames of liquid fire. All the powers and faculties of our souls are also tormented here. The imagination suffers with the thoughts of our present pain and the memory of the heaven we have lost. Our minds are tormented as we remember how foolishly we spent our precious time on earth. Our understanding is tormented with the thoughts of our past pleasures, present pains, and future sorrows which are to last forever. And our consciences are tormented with a continual gnawing worm. Another thing that makes our misery so awful is the sharpness of our torments. The fire that burns us is so violent that all the water in the sea can never quench it. The pains we suffer here are so extreme that it is impossible for anyone to know them except the damned. Another part of our misery is the ceaselessness of our torments. As various, as complete, and as extremely violent as they are also continual. We have no rest from them. If there were any relaxation, it might be some relief, but there is no easing of our torments, and what we suffer now we must suffer forever. The society or company we have here is another part of our misery. Tormenting devils and tormented souls are all our company. Dreadful shrieks, howlings, and fearful cursing are our continual conversation, because of the fierceness of our pain. The place we are in also increases our suffering. It is the completion of all misery, a prison, a dungeon, a bottomless pit, a lake of brimstone, a furnace of fire that burns to eternity, the blackness of darkness forever, and lastly hell itself. Such a wretched place as this can only increase our wretchedness. The cruelty of our tormentors is another thing that adds to our sufferings. Our tormentors are devils in whom there is no pity. While they are tormented themselves, they still take pleasure in tormenting us. All those sufferings that I have recounted are very grievous, but that which makes them the most grievous is that they shall always be forever. All of our intolerable sufferings shall last to all eternity. Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, is what continually sounds in my ears. Oh, that I could reverse that fatal sentence. Oh, if there were but a bare possibility of salvation. This is the miserable situation we are in, and shall be in forever.